Welcome to the Ref Show. Video refs are on the way. Could they have cleared up some of the weekend confusion? In some cases, yes. Maybe in some cases, no. And in one particular case, we might still be arguing, days even after the event. Loads to talk about this week on the show. Mark Lawrenson and Keith Hackett joining me. A weekend, by the way, of 5 red cards as well in the Premier League. First up, the video ref experiment. Given the go-ahead, thoughts on that, for or against?
Great, absolutely all day long. You know, they have video analysis, all the players, managers and coaches, and it's the last thing and probably the first thing that was really needed, video help for the referee and the officials. Why not? What is the problem with it? We're miles behind. Cricket, rugby, rugby league, rugby union, all. And you know, the thing about it is when everyone says, oh, it's going to slow the game down, put it on the big screen and then you all have a debate for a couple of seconds. What is the issue?
You've been a big advocate for a long time, Keith.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, the number of cameras that are now covering the game exposes the referees to error. In my day, 3 cameras, sometimes I make a mistake, get away with it. Not the modern referee. And therefore, it's a must. My concerns now are how it's going to be operated. My view is I still sit with the idea of a 5th referee sat in a room, bank of television, or he's in the van and he conveys directly to the referee. I'm slightly concerned hearing that the referee might have to go to the side of the field, because if he has to do that, he'll get a dozen people from the technical area all stood around doing it.
They'll surround him. That's unworkable.
Needs to be communication.
Absolutely.
What's it? Rugby union, TMO. And the cricket. Easy.
DRS.
Well, same to you.
And it's part, and it is part of the entertainment now.
Of course it is.
I love it. I love the fact that they view it. They're not rushed. And they come what I think effectively is the right decision.
We're going to come on to the Liverpool big match incident in a minute, but the point about flow of the game, to his credit, I think, the new FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, is making a point that that's a priority for him. The flow of the game is crucial. So he'll want to expedite what you're talking about, Keith.
Yeah, I don't think you've got to be that intelligent to realise that it works already, with the assistant referees communicating with the referee, the 4th official communicating with the referee, and there's no reason why a 5th official sat in the stand can't do the same.
Will it get rid of the 5 officials for Europa League, UEFA League?
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
I would sincerely wish it does, yeah. Well, I didn't wish much for Christmas, but that would have been one of the things.
I've always thought that they were on holiday. It was just a trip. I'm more and more convinced.
Other aspects of the new legislation we'll talk about later in the second part of the Ref Show. Let's apply video refs to the weekend incident then. Can it be a penalty and a dive simultaneously? Because people are claiming either in the case of that real big controversial one. You might not think it's controversial.
I don't.
Liverpool, right.
I don't.
Liverpool's sudden death right at the end, winner. Penalty winner at Crystal Palace for 2-1. Central characters, Andre Marriner, the referee, Scott Ledger on the line, Christian Benteke, bit of contact from Damien Delaney. Your call.
Well, I think put it this way: you're 6'4", and you're running, and you know, it's the slightest of touches, but it's a touch. And I think your normal reaction, forget about where it is on the pitch, you fall over. He didn't dive. He went on to his knees. And I thought Scott Ledger was brilliant. You could see we had him on Match of the Day, and he was saying, you know, he's caught him. He's caught him. Absolutely fantastic. Andre Marriner didn't know. Spoken to his man and gone, it's a penalty. And I think Pardew's reaction to it was nuts. But the other thing about the Pardew reaction was more the fact that they should have won the game. They failed to manage 11 against 10, being 1-0 up. That's why he went berserk, but that's nothing unusual.
A lot of experts have, well-respected experts, have disagreed on this call. What's your take, Keith?
I think that if the referee's called a penalty kick in this situation, and there is a degree of, and this is the use of the video, Alan, if it's inconclusive, it then has to defer to the referee. The thing about the decision was, I think the process worried me a little bit, because I think that if the referee wants the assistant to help him, what he does is he invites. That's the process. I'm happy with what I've seen, or I'm deferring something to you. I want to know. Help me. And in this case, the hesitancy around it all by Andre walking towards the assistant, then walking slightly away, in the end, he got it right. But I still believe that there's going to be instances with video ref where we're going to have similar situations.
Is he not buying himself a bit of time, Keith, though?
Well, I think that by the very nature that Scott was absolutely sold on his decision, 100%, he'd no need to walk anywhere. Because he should have said, okay, the assistant's got a better view than me, which he had. I'm giving it.
Well, I think it's an even better decision, because I was doing it in the studio, the game. And straight away I was with John Hartson, and went, crikey, he's dived, what's he doing? And it wasn't until we saw probably the third or fourth replay, super slow-mo, whatever it was, and I've gone, whoa, how good is that?
Indeed. Okay.
And I was in the same position, as you know.
Initially, you called it a dive.
I thought it was a serious dive.
Oh, we were shouting, we were calling him a cheat and everything. You're cheating. And all of a sudden you saw it, went, whoa.
Big credit then, the officials that emerged with big credit in the view of your other ref there. And also, let's salute our man on ref cam, who was Guy Beale, former FIFA assistant referee, and he called it, as you guys are calling it, at the time. He felt it was a penalty. We could go on, but I think where debate drags on to this extent, you have to, I think, personally, side with the guys who have to judge it in a split second. When there's so much doubt. Right, two mistakes from one of the big games over the weekend that would not actually, I think, have been corrected with this video referee system, because it's only for the big calls, penalties, etc. Spurs-Arsenal 2-2, Michael Oliver, Dyer of Spurs and Bellerin of Arsenal, by common consent, should have had second yellows, Keith.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Dyer was stupid. I can't understand players who, having received a yellow, are either not substituted by the manager, come off because you're close to getting another. But I think this one was the player who grabs hold of an opponent, preventing him moving forward, is a clear unsporting behaviour decision for the referee.
Your view too, Mark?
Yeah. Well, the other thing as well, if you got, I don't know if you saw, but obviously Coquelin got sent off.
Yes,
2 yellows, absolutely fine.
Yes.
At half time, Wenger sat him down and said, you know, North London derby, you've had a yellow, just be careful. And I mean, he got sent off at 1-0 up. Well, how nuts is that to get a second yellow card? And by the way, from a footballing sense of looking at it, Harry Kane's going nowhere. He's on the touchline, he's almost in the stand. Bonkers.
But what a great goal.
Oh, sensational goal.
You know.
Rob Harris was
and by the way, can I just say, do you reckon it will eventually get to the stage now? Because, you know, loads of them wearing the masks for the noses. If you take your mask off, you get booked. What do you think about that, wouldn't it?
Hey, let's get that in the next International Football Association board meeting next year.
That'll take 3 years.
And in that game, Rob Harris was on ref cam, and he called that spot on, I think, for you guys. And Goaltech was a hero as well. That was a hero.
That's really big. I smile because one of the guys who really instigated, supported me when I wanted goal line technology introduced, when I was boss of PGMOL, is David Dean, who of course was a former director of Arsenal. So I smile when that happened. I'm thinking all that hard work away from the game, convincing people about goal line technology.
Payback.
David, you got to pay back.
Yeah. Now let's go on to awards or decisions that could have been acted upon and maybe changed. Let's have Mark Clattenburg's game. Chelsea 1, Stoke 1. Costa, I think, common consent clearly was pushed. Should have been a penalty. Yeah.
Yes, I think that there's no doubts that a video replay on that, the man upstairs would have been saying penalty kick.
Okay, your view too?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it's funny, isn't it, that we're all being nice to him, Mr. Costa, because normally we're slaughtering him. Well, we normally slaughter him, right, because he's causing all sorts of mayhem.
We've got to be fair.
Yeah.
Craig Pawson, Swansea 1, Norwich 0, just briefly, because we're coming up to the break. Norwich denied a penalty there. He was a bit adrift of play, was Mr. Pawson on that. And again, that's another one, video ref, yeah?
Oh, it nailed on penalty kick. And again, slightly concerned that the assistant didn't come in and help Craig, because Craig was miles out of position.
Yeah. West Brom 1, Manchester United 0. Mike Dean, Mata correctly sent off, despite what Mr. Van Gaal might say.
Oh, that was utter tosh. That was just to deflect the fact that they'd been beaten. You should take his personality into account. So I said, well, Joey Barton's going to get booked in every first second of every game, isn't he?
Nobody ever took your personality.
Well, exactly. It's either a foul and a yellow, or it's not. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's King Herod or your mum.
Yeah. Vinny, you're in the end of the tunnel. don't bother.
Don't bother coming up. Don't get off the bus.
No.
And finally, putting the record straight this half, well done, John Moss. Now, we have taken him to task in this studio a few times this season. Watford 0, Leicester 1. Ref cam verdict was Andy Martin was giving that one of John's best performances.
Oh, no
we
question.
salute him for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Leicester, just simply amazing what's happening today.
Terrific.
But also, not only great performance from the referee, that game was end to end, and it was 100 miles an hour. There's some referees I've seen wouldn't have been anywhere near that. They're not fit enough.
Well done, Mr. Moss. Well done. Ref Show Part 2. Goodness me, one of the mistakes not only of the weekend, but of the whole season, maybe the decade. Rejoin us for that.